I want to thank everybody for coming today. My name is Jim Reynolds. I'm one of the presiding district judges here in Lewis and Clark and Broadwater County. And earlier this year, our office applied for and received a grant from the Office of Justice Programs for $600,000. The purpose of the grant is to establish a treatment court to work with families who are in the dependent and neglect system. We put together a team, and several of the members of the team are here today that will be working with me in this treatment court with two goals in mind. First of all the participants in this program are going to be parents whose drug addiction has interfered with their ability to be parents. So they've had their children removed from them and are placed in foster care or in a other alternative family placement. We're going to work with those families, with those parents and those children to try to reunite them to where the children are going to be living in a safe, healthy, secure home. That's goal number one. The second goal for our program, though, is to address what you might refer to as an intergenerational transmission of this kind of a problem. Often the people that we work with in our program, and I do an adult treatment program for felons, come from families that are dysfunctional and are not able to, they themselves were not parented by good parents. And that's just the reality of it. It doesn't make them bad people, that's just the reality. They did not get good parenting as children themselves, so they had no role models to grow up with. What we want to do is we want to break that cycle. We want to intercede in that family, and so that their children, the ones that have been working in this program, will not have that same life experience. And so we do it, it's sort of a pay-it-ahead sort of a program. $600,000 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to work with this group of folks. But we see in the future benefits coming back to the community for in savings, because we won't have children in the future being placed in foster care, having drug issues, having parental issues. And so that's the purpose for this press conference, and I'm honored and truly honored to have the array of folks that we have here to speak about this. I've got Governor Steve Bullock who will make a presentation, and then Traci Shinabarger, who is the Child and Family Ombudsman for the Montana Department of Justice, Lewis and Clark County Attorney Gallagher, and then Sheila Hogan, who is the Director of the Department of Public Health and Human Services. And I'm honored that they've taken time out of their busy days to come and talk about the importance of this kind of a program for our communities. So Governor Bullock,
thank all of you for taking a little bit of time, commissioners, mayors, other judges, the treatment team, and everyone else. It's certainly an honor to be here, but more importantly than me being here, you're here. And you, Judge, and your staff have really taken leadership and taken the opportunity to move this forward. As Attorney General and as Governor, and overseeing secondhand the correctional system, the more time that I've spent in these roles, the more that I've taken, I guess, the belief and the value that the less we're talking about statistics when we're talking about offenders, and the more we're talking about the potential success of every individual, and looking at it as every individual, the better off our overall system will be. We know that treatment courts work. We know that they take an incredible amount of time and energy and commitment from all facets of the criminal justice and the social services programs. But we know that anyone that enters into a treatment court has the potential not just to be another statistic, but to be a success. And as Judge Reynolds underscored, a success that will last beyond that immediate individual and can actually be generational successes. There's been an influx of child protection cases statewide involving parents using drugs. Statewide, about 65% of all open foster care placements for child abuse and neglect indicate parental substance abuse is one of the reasons for removal of children from their homes. What this announcement is affording the opportunity is no doubt helping many families and children, and it's no exaggeration to say indeed saving lives. Big way. Parents who will participate in this family drug treatment court will report their progress to the judge and the team, and the judge will meet with that multidisciplinary team of substance abuse, mental health, child protection experts, and others on a weekly basis to ensure things are staying on track. Scenario certainly has played out successfully in many communities across the state, and this is a whole nother element, and I applaud you for doing that. We need to be providing the support that people need to find employment, housing, support their community, and the treatment they need. I think that the model also provides anyone who walks into this court, which is doubtless a daunting experience, it affords them an opportunity for hope. Hope of ways for parents to stay engaged with their children when it's safe to do so while they recover. Make no mistake, too, that addiction impacts the entire family, and it's far too often children who end up victims. We need to be doing all we can to minimize the impact on our children as efforts are made to break that cycle of addiction and abuse. We look at the child protective system as a whole. We know that children and youth who have regular and frequent contact with their families as they work toward resolving their family issues are more likely to reunify and less likely to re-enter foster care. There are several bills passed from the Montana Protect Kids Commission. Between today's news of this court and those actions, I think that we are going to be continuing to both strengthen our child protection system even more, and we're doing it individual by individual, a potential success story by potential success story. Applaud Judge Reynolds, the entire team, for undertaking this for the 1st Judicial District. Thanks so much for going that extra mile to work with children and Montana families. Certainly I look forward to hearing of the successes and the families that have been impacted as a result. Thanks so much for having me.
Good afternoon. I am Traci Shinabarger, and I am the Chief Child and Family Ombudsman with the Montana Department of Justice. Attorney General Fox wishes he could be here today, and he sends his congratulations and best wishes to all. Attorney General Fox is committed to addressing drug treatment needs across Montana and recently launched the Aid Montana initiative to develop a comprehensive approach to addressing Montana's substance abuse problem. Family drug treatment courts are a vital part of that approach. Participants in family drug treatment courts receive collaborative, family-focused, evidence-based, intensive services. This unique court process holds not only the participants accountable, but also all of us involved in the system through consistent training, data collection, and peer reviews. It is a team approach where success is not only about sobriety, but also about achieving life goals and creating a better future for all of our children. When families contact our office to voice their concerns about the child protection system, rarely are they families involved in treatment courts. And in cases where they are, they express much appreciation for the support the treatment court provides. More often, we receive questions about how to become involved in treatment courts. Parents hear from each other how much support is provided. Participants receive more frequent communication, response time for needs improves, and the overall process for getting to graduation and unification with their children is clearer and more individualized. Most often, we receive calls from grandparents who express never dreaming of raising their grandchildren or worrying about whether their son or daughter is safe or using. Substance abuse affects families of all kinds. Family drug treatment courts provide the opportunity for families to stay together and address issues in a holistic manner. Graduates from treatment courts are less likely to become involved in child protection again. In fact, the Montana Supreme Court's recent review, over 60% of the cases in family drug courts in Montana did not have a new substantiated child protection case over a 5-year period. Graduates are more likely to maintain sobriety, find employment, increase their education, and contribute positively to our communities. While research is abundant on the successful outcomes of individuals and families, it is also clear that treatment courts are cost-effective and improve communities. both because of the process itself and as a result of decreases in crime, public assistance needs, medical costs, and out-of-home placements for children. In child welfare, if you were looking for a way to address the difficulty of substance abuse effectively and efficiently, Family Drug Court provides a tested approach. With approximately 65% of Montana child protection cases involving substance abuse, we can only afford to apply the best practices to our interventions. As Ombudsman and a resident of Helena, I am so proud of the efforts to bring Family Drug Treatment Court to the First Judicial District. The Department of Justice looks forward to supporting this effort to improve outcomes for families and keep Montana children safe. Thank you.
This just doesn't happen. This takes some commitment, and Judge Reynolds is the person who put this together. There's been talk of oh boy, that'd be a good idea sort of things for a long time in the First Judicial District. And Judge Reynolds stepped up and did it. I'm probably mispronouncing the name, but now they talk about Sisyphus rolling down a rock up the hill and it comes back down. And he does it every week. He's in a very difficult drug treatment court with adults who are last chancers, people that, but for his efforts, would likely be costing us $30,000 to $50,000 a year to put them into a DOC bed someplace. And that's because of him. And because of him and his efforts, all these costs that you've heard talk about, it's a lot from a bird's eye view, it's a lot less expensive to have specialty courts such as drug treatment court and this family treatment court administered by intelligent, caring, and committed judge, and that's Judge Reynolds. Although it's not always right. The other piece of this is that he can marshal a group of people such as we've collected in this room today that have given their time and talent to try to make something like this work. And if we make it work, once again, from a bird's eye view, it does work. And because we've got people out there who control budgets, who work with budgets, we never have enough money. But from a bird's eye view, it does work. It works from a financial point of view, and perhaps more importantly, it works from the point of view of the children that are going to be served by this court. Kids need to be with their parents if they can. They have a better chance in life. And certainly the parents have a better chance of making it as well if they're in a loving, caring family. And they aren't bad people. They're people that have become addicted in some way or another to chemicals, whatever it may be, right? The drug of choice these days is methamphetamine. And about 80% of the people that have mental illness have co-occurring disorder. So systemically, we need to deal with this in a way that we have not dealt with in the past. If you're in a hole, quit digging. And so we're trying to get ourselves out of this hole, and this is the best way if we have the patience and the time and the commitment of people to try to get it there. So, and one other guy that I'd like to mention, and that's Jeff Kirshner. Did I get that right? He's the Johnny Appleseed of these sorts of courts, court administrator's office. And he came in, I don't know where he found some webpage someplace, and came in, and in a very, I think he worked nonstop probably all weekend to get this thing in. And we never thought it would happen, and it happened. It happened. So this is the way to go. Because of the help of the county commissioners, I have enough funding to try to provide a part-time part of the county attorney's time to come in and serve this office. Public defender, I hope, is in it, or somehow we've got all sorts of people, including the Department of Public Health and Human Services. That outfit is stretched. Those kids are they're coming fast and furious. We have 9 cases filed this week alone. That's 9 kids. To do the math, that's 9 kids that are out and they're in some sort of a foster home now. The human devastation is amazing. And most of those kids are there because their parents, although they love each other, can't do it because they're addicted to something. And so, you know, that's, do the math over time. Those 9 kids that are that were placed this week alone, they need this. Thank you.
Thanks for having me here today. From living and working in this community, I know Judge Reynolds and I know his wife. They are really good, caring people, and I'm really glad we have this in our community. And I want to thank Judge Reynolds and his staff. I'm so excited as the head of DPHHS that we are able to partner with a group like we have here today. It's anytime we can provide additional services to the children and families that we serve, it's a welcome, it's a move in the right direction. In preparation for today, I reached out to some of our child and family specialists that work with drug treatment courts in other parts of the state. I want to share, this is a new program, but I want to share some experiences from around the state. A family drug treatment court is a way for us to be proactive and engage proactively with clients who have chemical dependency issues. It's a great feeling to know that we're part of something that is helping families get the treatment they need, help them recover, and best of all, help them get their children back quickly. It's a very intensive program. It's a tremendous opportunity for parents to be successful. It gives families a positive support network. Those comments are extremely positive. So I guess it's safe to say that DPHHS wholeheartedly supports the Family Drug Treatment Court. In the end, we all have to work together. It's going to take a team approach to solve this problem. It takes a judge who's committed to work with families. It takes child protective specialists who have a very difficult job to work with the family, to make sure those children are safe. And it takes licensed addiction counselors and mental health professionals to make that an investment. It takes the Department of Justice. It takes the executive branch. It's a huge team effort. Are these programs successful? They are. I want to share some comments from our child protective specialists. One of our child protection workers proudly talks about an individual who went through a drug treatment court in our state because she became sober, went back to college, and now works in the mental health field. Another success story is a former Child and Family Services client who went to nursing school. These are a few success stories, and there are many, many more. I'm an optimist, and I know that we're going to see some great success here. These are successes that are achieved through this partnership, through life's challenges. We all have challenges. It's because we have a team of caring people to work together to lift up these families. It's great to hear about the success stories, and I really look forward to hearing great things from Judge Reynolds and his team. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming, and particularly the folks that have spoken here today. I have a few closing comments I'd like to make. First of all, I need to correct a couple of things or clarify a couple of things. Mr. Gallagher, you said I'm not always right. That is actually not correct. I am always right. Secondly, I appreciate the comments about my efforts to do this, but quite frankly, this was not Jim Reynolds' effort. This was a team effort. We've been talking about a treatment court since I got on the bench back in 2011. We have 5,000 cases filed a year in this district among the 4 judges. And some of those cases come and go very quickly, very easy cases you don't have to deal with. And some of them are complex constitutional law cases or administrative cases. It requires some thought. The ones that tug at your heartstrings the most are the dependent neglect cases. Excuse me. You're sitting up on the bench and you're deciding the fate of some family at its very core. Whether that family is going to stay together or whether it's going to be broken apart. And I am not a wizard. They told me when I got to be a judge I could do anything I wanted to do. I've been looking for the magic wand that would fix these cases. I haven't found it yet. There are no magic wands. This program is not a magic wand. We are going to try something different because we need to try something different. We have a problem in our community. The number of dependent drug cases that have come before this court has doubled in the time I've been on the bench. That is an incredible number of kids, families that are being disrupted by these hordes of drug addiction. I wish I had another one. I wish I could just tap them on the head and say, go forth and your drug addiction will be behind you. That's not the case. It is a group effort. The grant application process itself, you mentioned Jeff Kushner. This is a true story. Jeff Kushner said, apply for this grant. You won't get it this year. You'll send your application in. The folks in the granting agency will write back to you and tell you what's wrong with your application. You fix it, and then you get it. You'll get it next year. So that's what we thought. We got a year to plan for this. We got the stupid grant. We will have 6 applications across the whole country that got one of these grants this year. It's not a common thing. So we're going to take it seriously. We've been entrusted by the funding agency to do this, and we are going to give it our best shot. It is hard work. It is not completely successful. I wish I could say our adult treatment program was completely successful, but it's not. You know, some people take advantage of this program and go forth. We've had people graduate from college. We've had people get GEDs, get their driver's licenses, get good jobs, all those things. But we also have people who have not been able to escape the scourge of drug addiction. We're going to give it our best shot. Again, I thank everybody for coming today. Keep your eye on us. We're not going to be 100% successful, but it's not for lack of trying. So thanks again for coming.